So we just turned right at the end of the paved road, which was Highway WW. We just turned right onto the gravel road, and this is Main Road, M-A-I-N-E, Main Road. And actually, we don't have far to go at all, and we'll see the property on the right. We've got probably about half a mile. Beautiful day in the Ozarks. We're not far at all from the Niagara River. Not far at all from the town of Lebanon. We came out of Springfield this morning and went up to Lebanon, which is, I don't know, about 45 minutes from Springfield. And then from Lebanon, we've gone about 10 miles westerly to get where we are. So in another few hundred yards, we'll come to kind of a Y in the road, and we want to continue straight. There you can see there's a Y in the road, but we want to continue straight. I assume that this is still Main. And I've got the MapRight app open on the iPad next to us here on the seat. And we've gone, it looks like about 7/10 of a mile, and we're about to see the west side. Well, we're at the west side of the property. It's on the right side of the road here. So as we look north on Main Road, that's the property on the right. You can see some pretty sizable timber. It was recently logged, and as we look back in there, we can see some of the tops and whatnot. Check out the drone video to get a really good look at that. Parked in kind of a shady area here, but it looks like it's got some good frontage on the county road here, which is great. You've got that county road access, and then of course that easement road that goes back in. So if you wanted to cut in a driveway off this county road, you've obviously got that option. It'd take a little work or a piece of equipment or whatever, but it could certainly be done. Beautiful area. A lot of wildlife here, a lot of deer and a lot of turkey out here. So we're on the easement road at the east side of the property. We're looking south, and everything you see on the right is going to be the property. So on the west side of the easement road. Actually, as we look basically due west from where we are, the property does go all the way west to the county road, to Main Drive. And if you ever wanted to clear an existing driveway or private trail in off of Main Drive, you'd have that option. But right now, taking the easement road is definitely a lot easier. So we parked the truck just a little ways back, and we took the four-wheeler because we're hoping to really explore this property. So I think we'll just keep the video running. We'll head south on the easement road. And from where we are, everything on the right side, everything on the west side of the easement road is going to be on the property. This is a big property, by the way. lot of level areas. It looks like it slopes down as you move away from the easement road. And I'm thinking back to the topo map, and I think that's probably going to be the tiny creek on the property, and we should see that in a minute as we continue to the south here and the land starts to slope down. Okay, this is really cool. This is that little creek, and it rained about 3 days ago, and this is running pretty nicely. So that's obviously spring fed, coming somewhere out of the hills. We have no way to know if it's year-round, so it's best to assume that it's just a wet weather creek bed. Now basically, once we cross over this creek, then the land is on both sides of the road. So more or less, once we cross this creek, this becomes a private driveway or trail on your property. Now, as we look to the right here, to the west, it looks like this little creek is actually fed by two different springs. One coming from right there that's actually flowing, and then another one coming from up this direction. You can see all kinds of deer prints here. They love these cold freshwater creeks. Always interesting to look at a brand new property and try to explore it a little bit. This looks like a natural roadway. We've got a lot of tops and stuff left from the loggers. Obviously those will rot away within the next few years. But I'm trying to get another look at this creek bed on the property. Okay, so this is interesting. We've gone up river or up creek bed about 150 feet, and there's the creek bed, but it's dry right now. So somewhere between here and where we parked the four-wheeler, that water's coming out of the ground. So you can see there are a bunch of tops here. So I mean, if you really wanted to explore where it was and dig out what could potentially be a little spring, you could clear out these tops. There's a little water right there. You could let them rot away. We've done a lot of burning over the years, and we know a lot of people who that's the method they always use to clean up their land, is to burn out the tops and the brush. Got to really use caution with that, but it is effective. But yeah, very interesting that somewhere between where we just were and where we parked that four-wheeler, that water is coming out of the ground. So whether that's a year-round spring or not, like I said, we have no way to know, but there's certainly quite a bit of water coming out of that couple hundred feet there. That is gorgeous. Really flowing. Awesome property. Well, we're going to go ahead and cross this creek bed, and I guess we'll just drive around a little bit. This is the very first time we've been on the property, so we're just going to drive around a little bit on the four-wheeler, and we'll see what we can see. Well, we kind of knew from looking at the topo map that there was a big level area up here on the south side of that small creek bed. So that's where we are right now. I can see a lot of tops and whatnot from the recent logging, but I mean, there are thousands of medium-sized trees left on this property. And this is a big tract, so bring your four-wheeler or bring your side-by-side. I mean, you could spend days exploring this and probably not see everything. So we're at the little creek bed right now on the southern side of the property. Not quite at the south border, but not too far away from it. Excuse me. The topo map showed this as being the bigger of the two creeks, but actually that first one we saw, for whatever reason, had a little more water in it today. This does have some water. It is flowing, not much, but a little bit. So you actually own both sides of this creek bed on this property. We could walk up here a little bit and kind of have a look. I mean, the thing about, if you're lucky enough to have a creek bed on your property in the Ozarks, you probably have some really cool rock features, because these are old creek beds. Really peaceful down here on the south side. The whole property is private and peaceful, but I mean, on this south side, it's just you and the deer.